Welcome all. Today we are going to learn about latitudes and longitudes, which is the secret grid of our world. Latitudes and longitudes are imaginary lines drawn on maps and globes. These lines work together like a giant grid and help us locate any location on Earth. The grid also helps us understand everything from climate to time. What are latitudes? The horizontal lines that encircle the Earth from east to west are called the parallels of latitude or simply latitudes. They are parallel to each other and never meet. The equator is the 0-degree latitude. Latitudes go up to 90-degree north and 90-degree south. The five major parallels of latitudes are Arctic Circle, Tropic of Cancer, the Equator, Tropic of Capricorn, and Antarctic Circle. The equator divides the Earth into two equal halves, which are called hemispheres, the Northern Hemisphere and the Southern Hemisphere. Can you name the hemisphere you live in? Latitudes help us to find out the temperature zones. Different places on Earth receive different amount of sunlight. The climate of a region is determined on the amount of heat received from sunlight. Sun rays are highly concentrated in the areas near the equator. As we move away from the equator, the sun rays become slanting. Thus, the heating in these areas is less. Therefore, places located at higher latitudes receive less heat from the sun rays than the places close to the equator. Based on the amount of sunlight received, the Earth is divided into three main temperature zones: the torrid or the tropical zone, the temperate zones, the frigid or the polar zones. What are longitudes? Meridians of longitudes are imaginary lines that run from North Pole to the South Pole. There are 360 meridians of longitudes. They help us measure time. The starting point for measuring longitude is the prime meridian, which is at 0-degree longitude. It passes through the Royal Observatory in Greenwich, London. The prime meridian divides the Earth into eastern and western hemispheres. Kids, do you know in which continent do you live? International dateline marks the difference of dates between the eastern and western hemisphere. We gain a day when we travel to the east of international dateline, for example, from the USA to Japan. We lose a day when we travel to the west of the international dateline, for example, from Japan to the USA. The international dateline is not a straight line, as it is drawn for the convenience of countries that lie in the Pacific Ocean. How longitudes help us calculate time? The Earth rotates 360 degrees in 24 hours. This means it rotates 15 degrees every hour. This gives us a time difference of 4 minutes for every 1 degree of longitude. As you move east from the prime meridian, time is added. As you move to the west from the prime meridian, time is subtracted. The world is divided into 24 time zones. All places within one time zone follow the same standard time. Greenwich Mean Time is the time at the prime meridian. The Eastern Hemisphere is ahead of GMT. The Western Hemisphere is behind the Greenwich Mean Time. France has maximum time zones in the world because of its many overseas territories. Both Russia and the USA have 11 time zones. Countries with huge longitudinal spread like China and India have chosen to use only one time zone for the whole country. India is 5 hours and 30 minutes ahead of Greenwich Mean Time. The standard time of a country is usually based on its central meridian. India's central meridian is 82.5 degrees east longitude. Can you name the major latitudes that passes through these places? Thank you for watching. Please subscribe the channel for more such educational videos. See you later.